My dentist keeps adding more teeth to my mouth. It all started a month ago. I thought it would just be a routine teeth cleaning when my dentist called me into his office. It was sterile, pearly white, a big desk with a smiling family, and his board certification for Michigan clearly displayed above his chair. Dominic, right? My dentist, Dr. Lee, flashed a perfect white smile at me. Yeah. I gave a quick half smile as I took a reluctant seat on his cushy brown visitor chair. Dr. Lee leaned back in his own desk chair, looking at a stack of x-rays he held over his head in the light. He clicked his tongue while slowly shaking his head. No, this won't do at all. Dominic? Yes, I asked, trying to decipher his clear disappointment. What is this, your third, fourth time in my office? I gulped. I think it's my third. Right. Now, if you look right here. Dr. Lee pointed his finger at the x-ray, holding it up towards me. The fluorescent lights above made it nearly impossible to distinguish anything on the glossy paper. You see this? Not really, if I'm being honest. I chuckled. Dr. Lee's face remained unamused. Well, he exhaled and cleared his throat. This is your mouth. See anything wrong with it? I chanced to smile, trying everything in my power to break the awkwardness. Like I said, I really can't see. It's big, Dominic. Too big. My brows knitted themselves into confusion. Dr. Lee continued. An adult male has 32 teeth, the same as you. He paused. Don't worry, I counted yours myself. He chuckled to himself. Dominic, have you ever found yourself with difficulty chewing, difficulty swallowing food, or drinking water? I thought to myself at this revelation. Too big? What does that even mean? I don't think so, I responded, face still frozen in puzzlement. You're lucky, Dominic. Very lucky. You see, I've had many patients with your exact issue. He pointed at me in a way I didn't like. They come to me with tears in their eyes. The pain, Dominic, for many. Dr. Lee wiped away a tear I couldn't see. It was too much, he said in a fractured voice. I nodded, my own hand feeling its way around my mouth, doing my best to familiarize myself with my big mouth. Luckily for you, Dominic, we have a new procedure that you would be a perfect candidate for. What is it, Dr. Lee? Mind racing, trying to understand how a big mouth could be so problematic. Well, it would be 3 rounds. It would fill out your smile, and once we start, we cannot stop. And, if I don't do it, I'll have pain for the rest of my life? Dr. Lee looked at me glumly. I'm afraid so. I forced 2 fingers into my mouth. I guess it was pretty big. I felt towards the back. The sockets that used to be my wisdom teeth still seemed to have plenty of room back there. How embarrassing would it be to choke to death because of a big mouth? Fine, I stuttered. Let's do it. This is the right choice, Dominic. You can talk to Sandra up front for all the details. I signed a bundle of documents for oral spatial optimization, or OSO, as Sandra called it. My first appointment was the next week. Dr. Lee was very strict. No food or water, 12 hours before the procedure, with no alcohol allowed 48 hours before. It made me skip my Thursday office happy hour, but there would always be more. Dr. Lee sported a small fluorescent light on his forehead. He had me sit down in the patient chair, hooked me up to the gas mask, and by the count of 6, I was out cold. Dominic? Dominic? Dr. Lee's voice summoned me back to consciousness. How are you feeling? Grr. I uttered with the intention of saying I'm okay. A thumbs up or down will do, Dr. Lee laughed. Your teeth will need a few hours to set still. After I gave him a thumbs up, Dr. Lee continued. In 5 hours, you can remove the gauze, brush your teeth with hot water tonight, got it? Microwaved water for 20 seconds should be fine. With that, he led me out the door. At 9 p.m. that night, I went to my bathroom and started pulling the gauze out of my mouth. Maybe it was in my head, but my mouth suddenly felt less full. I felt along my cheeks small bumps, but overall, everything seemed fine. I faced my mirror and I smiled. I quickly backpedaled in surprise. In front of every single one of my teeth sat an adjoining baby tooth sticking out of my gums. I looked at myself in horror, my breathing quick and ragged. My fingers felt deeper on both sides of my mouth, a ridge of baby teeth on the upper and lower parts of each. After counting them all, I found a total of 56 teeth. I tried to call the dentist, but of course they were closed this late. Maybe it was all a bad dream. Maybe I'd wake up. No, this was real. I woke up the next day, calling in sick to work. I couldn't be seen like this. I stormed into Dr. Lee's building, pushing past the inquisitive questions of the reception desk and barreling into Dr. Lee's office. "What the hell did you do to me?" Dr. Lee looked up, recognized me, and then smiled. "Ah, Dominic, it looks like the procedure was a success. What are you talking about?" I bared my teeth, pointing at its new additions. "You turned me into a freak." Dr. Lee seemed to hesitate. "Maybe momentarily, but they will soon find their place in your mouth." "Did you apply the hot water at least?" "No, I didn't apply the hot water. Look what you did to me," I cried out. Dr. Lee seemed to smirk. "Now listen carefully, Dominic. It was alright to skip a day, but I need you to apply the hot water tonight. Got it? I know it was probably a shocking surprise, but we are a team on this. Once we get through your other 2 procedures, you will have a smile worthy of your face." His eyes seemed sincere. "What are the other 2 procedures for?" I asked. "Look, Dominic, monitor your teeth for the next week. I am confident you will notice some changes. If you like what you see, I want you to come back on the 24th. Got it? But now I am quite busy today. Dominic, think of the pain. This is necessary." He offered a solemn shoulder tap before disappearing into the hallway. I tried to pursue him, but found him gone when I emerged from his office. I retreated to the reception area, doing my best to hide my hideous new additions from onlookers. The next day, I hid my mouth from the world. The next day was much the same. However, by that Friday, 5 days after the procedure, my new additions seemed to slide into place along my gum line. I ran my tongue along my new tooth line. Food did seem easier to chew and swallow. It did seem easier to breathe. Maybe it was unrelated, but I did feel myself talking with more confidence, more assured of myself. Against all odds, I found myself walking back into Dr. Lee's office on the 24th. The reception greeted me. "That's a great smile," she exclaimed as she walked me back to Dr. Lee's operating room. "I knew you'd be back, Dominic." I smiled at him, taking a seat in the chair. This time, I only made it to the count of 5 when the room went dark. Dr. Lee slowly shook me awake. "Dominic, another success. Now you might be a little surprised when you take that gauze off tonight, but I don't think anything will quite be as surprising as that first night, huh?" I nodded, acutely aware that any words or sentences would be impossible with my mouth covered. "Now I want you to take it off at, let's say 9 p.m. again, okay?" I nodded. Dr. Lee looked more stern. "Dominic, this time though, I want you to use cubes of ice to polish your teeth, okay? Oh, and no hot foods for 2 days, got it?" I nodded again as he helped me to my feet. My mouth felt different. Weaker? No. Heavier. Fuller. Different, but more, right? As the clock inched towards 9, I took my pilgrimage to the bathroom mirror. I looked at my gauze-covered mouth, took a breath, and slowly unwrapped my mouth. The face that stared back at me was one I didn't recognize. 2 large, curved top teeth dug in nearly to my lower level. Small, triangle-shaped teeth lined my gums, while my tongue felt another layer of sharp razor teeth tickling the inside of my mouth. I stood in awe. I let my fingers pull back my lips, trying to see my entire smile in the mirror. 80? 90? No, at least 100 teeth crowded my mouth. My fingers felt some of my new additions. Some were hard, some were soft, some were white, while some were yellow tinged. I walked over to my fridge, grabbed a few ice cubes, and started to spread around the coldness, the soothing sensation working its way down my throat. I took a few deep breaths and had the most restful sleep I've had in years that night. The next morning, I called up Dr. Lee. "Everything to your liking, Dominic." I let my tongue run across my new teeth. "Yes, Dr. Lee." "When can we finish the procedure?" "Oh, let's see. Can you make the 31st work?" "I look forward to it, doctor," I replied, smiling to myself. I had saved up enough PTO days to sit in anticipation of my next appointment for the whole week. I was like a kid in a candy store, polishing and massaging each tooth, examining my smile with delight in the mirror, laughing and grinning to myself, confident with my smile for the first time in my life. But Dr. Lee had promised greater things, and I wanted greater. The air was hot and humid when my car pulled up to the office. I admired my smile one more time in the rearview mirror before climbing out of the car and heading towards the office. I flashed the receptionist a smile. "Dominic for Dr. Lee." She was organizing some papers before she looked up. Her eyes went wide as I felt her gaze focus on my glorious smile. "Juju just down the hall," she finally stuttered out, surely dumbstruck with jealousy. I enthusiastically found Dr. Lee and plopped down in the dentist chair, eagerly awaiting my further refinement. "Everything okay, Dominic?" Dr. Lee asked as he readied the gas mask. "Couldn't be better, doctor. Couldn't be better." I'm not even sure he needed the gas. I would do anything needed to complete my journey. I felt the doctor's voice in my ears as I awoke from my drug-induced slumber. "Dominic, are you with us?" I held up a feeble thumb as my senses slowly returned. "Dominic, this final procedure has been a complete success. I think we will both be happy with your new smile." I felt my heart flutter. I let my fingers glide across my cheeks. They were also covered with gauze, a first, but something solid seemed to protrude from both sides. "Now keep the gauze in place for 12 hours, Oak. We probably should have told you to eat before this. Apologize." I nodded. "Let me see anything else." Dr. Lee wondered aloud. "I don't think so." "Let's schedule your checkup for 2 weeks from now to see how your mouth is doing, okay?" I nodded and nearly ran out of the office. The other patients stared me down as I exited the office, but I didn't care. The 12 hours couldn't come by fast enough. It was the most agonizing wait in my life. Each minute felt like an hour, each hour like a day. My reflective TV screens seemed to mock me, each one of my house mirrors eager to reveal the secret of what was behind the gauze. By 2 a.m., I was huddled on my toilet seat, hungrily watching my watch clock slowly tick away to destiny. At 3:37 a.m., I finally rose to my feet and began to slowly unwind the gauze around my mouth. In a word, beautiful. 2 large tusks erupted from my upper gums, weaving their way into my cheeks. The ridge of the mouth, full of square, triangular, sharp, soft, flat, and bumpy teeth. My cheeks wore a necklace of curved, sharp teeth that hooked into my mouth. Even my tongue, a forgotten, overlooked piece of my mouth, now sported a row of 4 square teeth on top of it and under it. I relaxed my jaw, letting me see my new smile in all its glory. There had to be 200, no, 300 teeth at least. I felt my body shaking with excitement. My tongue quickly felt around my mouth, content with its new neighbors. But then it found the spot. On the left side of my mouth, near the back, I felt the squishy reminder of my old mouth. I tried not to panic. I forced myself to sleep. It was my first Saturday with my new mouth. I settled down for a bowl of cereal, the best meal of my life with my new mouth. I found my laptop and searched for Dr. Lee. He lived on the other side of town, but a visit from his favorite patient would surely make his weekend. The little blonde boy from the picture on his desk seemed to be playing in the dirt as my white Chevrolet pulled up next to their house. "Where is your daddy, little boy?" He was transfixed on the stick in his hand, slowly burrowing deeper into the soil, not even looking up at me. "He's in the house." I tousled his hair as I skipped up to the door. I rang the bell. The lady from the photo emerged from the door, her mouth agape as a small scream escaped her lips. "Hello, I am looking for Dr. Lee." She started to slowly shake her head. "It's Oak, I recognize you from his desk photo." I turned towards her front yard. "Same with your son," I smiled. "I just want to talk to him." She kept her gaze on me as she called out, "Honey." I saw Dr. Lee approaching. "Ah, Dominic, you are looking very good." I beamed a smile. "It's okay, honey," Dr. Lee grasped his wife's shoulder. "Dominic, why don't we talk in my study?" I followed him to the left side of his house. He offered me a brandy, something I turned down as I quickly pivoted our conversation towards why I came to him that Saturday. "I'm happy with the procedure, doctor. I really am. But I fear you missed a spot." He looked back at me with confusion, taking a sip from his glass. "What do you mean?" he asked. I opened my mouth wide, pointing towards the left side of my mouth. What's the problem?" he stuttered out, looking closely at my mouth and new teeth. I closed my mouth and looked at him calmly. "I need another tooth there." He flashed me a half smile. "I'm afraid I can't do that. Your mouth is fine now. You can breathe, eat, and drink more easily now, right?" I considered his question before nodding. "I suppose, but I just want to feel." I thought of my next word. "Fuller is all." "Dominic, you are quite okay. The 3 procedures worked, and you should be happy with the new smile you have. Some people just don't know when to play ball." I always did like Dr. Lee's smile. His wife's teeth weren't half bad either. It's amazing what a little determination and some homemade supplies will allow you to do. I think my mouth is taking kindly to the new additions, and I'll always have a piece of Dr. Lee to commemorate the person who believed I could be more.